The passport was in my hand when my wife walked into the kitchen and froze. "Claire," she said quietly, "where is it?" I looked at her suitcase sitting beside the front door. "You mean the passport you need for tomorrow?" Her face changed. For the first time in 12 months, I saw genuine fear in her eyes. Welcome back to Karma Stories Hub. Today's story is about family, betrayal, manipulation, and the moment karma finally catches up with people who thought they'd never face consequences. If you enjoy satisfying revenge and emotional justice stories, you're in the right place. Grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's get into today's story. My name is Emma Carter, and until a few months ago, I thought I knew exactly who I had married. Claire and I had been together for 8 years. We lived outside Chicago, owned a small house together, and had built what looked like a comfortable life. Claire was ambitious. She worked as a senior marketing director for a national luxury brand, and she had recently been selected for the biggest promotion of her career. If everything went according to plan, she would become vice president of international marketing. The promotion came with a major opportunity. Her company was sending her to London for 6 months to lead an international expansion. Claire called it the chance of a lifetime. I called it a test of whether there was anything left of our marriage. Because 3 weeks earlier, I had discovered something I could never unsee. Claire had been having an affair. Not for a few weeks. Not for a few months. For almost a year. His name was Daniel. He worked with one of Claire's company's European partners. At first, I didn't believe what I was seeing. I had found a hotel receipt in an email account Claire had accidentally left open on our shared computer. Then I found photographs. Dinner reservations. Weekend trips. Messages filled with words I thought belonged only between spouses. I confronted her that night. She cried. She apologized. She said it had been a mistake. Then she told me something that hurt even more. "I love you, Emma. But I haven't known how to stop." I wanted to scream. Instead, I asked one question. "Is it over?" Claire looked me directly in the eyes. Yes. I believed her. That was my first mistake. For the next 2 weeks, Claire became unusually attentive. She cooked dinner. She brought me coffee. She kissed me before leaving for work. She even started talking about couples counseling. I thought maybe we could survive it. Then, one Friday afternoon, I received an anonymous email. There were 3 photographs attached. Claire and Daniel. Together. In London. The date on the photographs was 2 days after Claire had promised me the affair was over. My hand started shaking. The email contained only one sentence. "You don't know the half of it." Over the next week, more evidence arrived. Hotel receipts. Flight confirmations. Photographs. Messages. I discovered that Claire hadn't been trying to end the affair. She had been trying to hide it better. And the worst part was that Daniel wasn't some random mistake. He was the person Claire had already planned to meet in London. The promotion wasn't just about her career. It was going to put her in the same city with him for 6 months. Suddenly, everything made sense. Her excitement. Her secrecy. The sudden interest in renewing her passport. The new luggage sitting unopened in our bedroom. She was preparing to leave me while pretending she was saving our marriage. Then I discovered one more thing. Claire had already told her company that she was single. I found the information because her company's relocation coordinator accidentally sent a benefits document to our shared email. Claire had listed herself as unmarried. I stared at that document for several minutes. After 8 years together, I had become something she was embarrassed to acknowledge. That was when something inside me finally broke. Not my heart. My fear. I stopped begging for honesty. I stopped asking questions. And I started making decisions. The next morning, Claire told me she had an appointment at the passport office because she needed an expedited renewal before her flight. I nodded. Of course. She smiled. Thank you. She had no idea I had already found her passport. It was inside the small fireproof box in our bedroom closet. She had placed it there weeks earlier, probably assuming I would never look. I held it in my hand for a long time. I knew exactly what I was doing. It wasn't illegal. It wasn't permanent. But it was the first time I had stopped making Claire's life easier while she destroyed mine. I put the passport somewhere safe. Then I waited. 2 days later, Claire came home carrying takeout. I have incredible news, she said. The London project is officially happening. I smiled. Congratulations. She hugged me. And I almost laughed at the irony. She had no idea the biggest opportunity of her career was about to collide with the biggest consequence of her life. That night, Claire packed her suitcase. She checked her documents. Then she opened the drawer where she always kept her passport. Nothing. She searched again. Then again. Emma? I walked into the room. What? Have you seen my passport? I stared at her. Yes. Her eyes widened. Where is it? I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I sat on the edge of the bed. Claire, how long were you planning to keep lying to me? She went completely still. I don't know what you mean. Yes, you do. I pulled my phone from my pocket and placed it on the bed. I had screenshots. Photographs. Hotel receipts. Everything. Claire's face went pale. Who sent you those? That doesn't matter. It matters to me. No. What matters is that you lied to me for a year. She sat down slowly. For several seconds, neither of us spoke. Then she whispered, Daniel and I were supposed to figure things out in London. I nodded. So you were going to leave me after you got the promotion? I didn't know what I was going to do. You knew enough to list yourself as single. She started crying. But this time, I didn't comfort her. I can fix this, she said. No. Emma, please. No, Claire. You already made your choice. She looked at me. Then give me my passport. I reached into the drawer beside me and pulled it out. Her eyes locked onto it. You had it? Yes. You hid my passport? Yes. You can't do this. I already did. She grabbed her phone and called her company's relocation coordinator. Her voice shook as she explained what happened. Then the coordinator told her something that made her expression collapse. The flight was international. Without a valid passport, she couldn't travel. And because the London position required her to relocate immediately, the company couldn't delay the assignment. Claire begged for an exception. There wasn't one. The position was offered to the company's second candidate. Daniel wasn't waiting for her anymore either. Apparently, he had already accepted another position in London and had stopped responding to Claire after learning that she might not make the move. Within 48 hours, Claire lost the promotion she had spent years chasing. She also lost Daniel. But she still had one person she expected to rescue her. Me. I didn't. I moved into a small apartment across town. I filed for separation. And I gave Claire one final piece of information. The anonymous person who had sent me the evidence had contacted her company too. Not to destroy her. To report that Claire had misrepresented her marital status during an international relocation process and had concealed a conflict of interest involving a business partner. That investigation ended up being the real reason the company withdrew the promotion. The passport had delayed her trip. Her own lies ended her career opportunity. There was the karma. Not revenge. Consequences. Months later, Claire asked to meet me at a quiet coffee shop. She looked different. Less confident. More tired. I lost everything, she said. I shook my head. No. You lost the things you were willing to risk everything else for. She looked down. Do you hate me? I thought about it. No. She looked surprised. I used to think forgiveness meant letting someone back into your life, I said. Now I understand that sometimes forgiveness means letting go without carrying them with you. I stood up. Claire didn't stop me. For the first time since discovering the affair, I walked away without wondering where she was going. I knew exactly where I was going. Home. My own home. My own life. And for the first time in years, I wasn't waiting for someone else to decide whether I was worth choosing. I had finally chosen myself. The biggest lesson I learned was simple: when someone repeatedly lies to protect their secret, don't destroy yourself trying to expose every lie. Sometimes you just need enough truth to make your own decision. Claire thought losing her passport would cost her one opportunity. But her dishonesty had already cost her much more. It cost her my trust. Our marriage. And the future she assumed would always be waiting for her. What would you have done if you discovered your spouse had been having a year-long affair and was planning to start a new life with that person? Would you have exposed everything immediately, or would you have quietly walked away? If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another karma story.